first trade with Seattle, and did you have a group of wide receivers pretty close together? Is that one of the reasons why you were willing to move down 11 spots?
Yeah, I'd say at the time when we were getting closer to 48, we had a strong group of players, not only wide receivers, but other positions. And we just felt like with the amount of players that we had, moving back to 59, you're realizing that you may lose a few, but you're still going to have the guys, and there's still going to be enough players there that you're excited about. So we felt that it wasn't too far to move back, and we were able to get it done with John in Seattle.
Rich from ESPN, your line is active.
Joe, can you give us a scout's perspective on Denzel Mims, and also how much did his Senior Bowl and scouting combine performance elevate his value to you?
Yeah, no question. I'll let Coach and Rex chime in too after I give my opinion. But what you're getting with Denzel is a long, smooth receiver, great body control, big catch radius, soft hands, ability to turn the short catches into long touchdown runs. He's a deceptive strider. He has excellent speed, but he's such a smooth and controlled mover that you don't realize how fast he's going. And again, when we were down in Mobile, he really had a strong week down there and really separated himself as one of the top receivers in Mobile for the week. But I'd even open it up to Adam and Rex to talk about Denzel as well. Go ahead, Rex.
Yeah, along the lines of what Joe said, had an exceptionally strong week down in the Senior Bowl. Showed the ability to accelerate to deep ball and track it over his shoulder as a deep threat. But he also, during the season, on all the tape that you watch, he shows a guy who can really climb the ladder in terms of going up to catch the ball at his highest point, playing above the rim. Just gives Sam another big, fast target with the ability to adjust outside of his frame and make catches. And again, the huge catch radius is a plus in addition to the 4.38 speed. So really excited about adding him to the mix to compete for us and Sam.
I think the only thing I'd add to just what Joe and Rex have already said, I think, we're going to keep improving with him too. I think there's room for growth with what he's already brought to the table, and as a coach that makes us excited, and be able to help him grow over the years and see how far we can take him.
Yeah, the one other thing I'd add about Denzel that I thought was pretty cool tonight is usually when you call these guys, they're excited. There's a lot of emotion. Like Denzel had a real chip on his shoulder. It was important to him that he's going to make these teams pay that passed him up. So we can't wait to get that type of competitor and that type of mentality in the building.
Mark from the Post, your line is active.
Yeah, Joe, would you have been happy with Mims at 48? I mean, obviously there's a chance taking, going down. You said you had a group of players, but just first of all, would you have been happy with him at 48? And secondly, is this a guy that can develop into a number one receiver, in decently short time?
I mean, I'd say that we're happy he's a New York Jet. Obviously, there's a risk you take in losing a player by trading from 48 to 59. It was a risk we were willing to take to pick up 101 at the time. As far as labeling someone a number one, number two receiver, I'm not going to do that. But I'll just say that we're excited about Denzel's ability and excited about the mentality that he's going to bring to this team.
Connor from The Athletic, your line is active.
Yeah, Joe, I was just wondering if you were surprised at all that Denzel had made it down to you guys when you traded back a little bit. And then I know that the one thing that some people had concerns with him are the drops. Are you guys worried at all with his hands, or do you believe that the drops that he kind of had a little bit there in college are correctable, and if so, why?
Yeah, when we were talking about Denzel today, we certainly would not have been surprised if he was taken in one of the first 2 or 3 picks in the second round. So again, we're excited here. In regards to the drops, I know Denzel was dealing with some things 2 years ago, with injuries and things like that. And I'm not going to make any excuses, but he's a guy that really showed up well on tape, and obviously the Senior Bowl and Combine this year.
Ryan from the Post, your line is active.
Yep. For Joe and Adam, Denzel and Zuniga both put up really good 40 times at the Combine, and obviously Davis is a hurdler, college hurdler. Was getting speed, adding speed to this team a priority across the board in this draft for the organization?
You want to go out on it?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a yes. I mean, that's something that we've been talking about, before we even started last year, is just keep adding guys that can bring speed to the field and put pressure on the other team. And I know that's been something that especially our scouts have been, combing colleges, all year long. And I mean, that's what what the last couple of days are all about, is finding those guys that are going to fit the profile we've been looking for.
There's no doubt that going in, we're looking for explosive guys, explosive playmakers, and we felt like these guys not only brought the time speed element to our team, but they also brought the play speed element. And I think you're able to see that in some of their GPS numbers, GPS information we're able to get.
Andy from The Record, your line is active.
Hey, this is for Joe and Adam. Just with the cornerbacks that were on the board, how tempted were you to kind of maybe take a stab at one of those guys? There's some good guys on the board before you trade it out. And how do you see Davis fitting in coverage? Do you see him strictly as a safety, or do you see him as a guy who can kind of, move around there and be versatile?
Yeah, I would say there certainly there was discussion at 48. There were a lot of good players, at different positions. So we were having a lot of discussions. I think at the end of the day, we felt good about moving back a little bit and then picking up that one-on-one spot. As far as Ashton's concerned, he's a guy that we love. We love his versatility. We love the fact that he can play. He can play as a high safety. He can play as a low safety. He can play over wide receivers. So I think that versatility is really gonna aid our defense and aid Greg when we're putting game plans together.
Tim from NFL Network, your line is active.
Hey guys, I guess for Joe or Adam with Mims, I don't know how wrapped up you guys get with the whole route tree stuff, but it seems like he's the kind of playmaker you're going to need, to play pretty quickly. Are you guys convinced he can step in as a rookie pretty much right off the bat and contribute to your offense with Sam?
Yes, I do. I do think the route tree is not a concern for me with him. I think he's got the ability to learn. That was one of the things that just going through our process of, him being able to pick up things when our coaches met with him. It's really a lot of times where you have a younger player coming in, you have the whole offseason go through, but we're not going to have that more than likely this year. I mean, if we do, it's going to be limited time, and we're going to have to get them caught up as fast as we can when we're able to do the virtual stuff. And by the time he steps on the field, hopefully he has a good grasp of that, which I feel like he will, and we'll figure out how far he goes mentally, and then we'll take advantage of what he knows and, allow him to do the things that he does really well as much as possible.
Denise from the Daily News, your line is active.
A couple things, Adam, just kind of what you just said about Mims' route tree. Do you envision him, at least as a rookie, simply to play on the outside? I know he didn't play too much in the slot, but could you, theoretically use him in the slot? And for Joe, can you just kind of take us through why you took the Florida kid? He was obviously hurt for much of this season, but what do you especially like about him?
Well, I mean, all our guys play all the different spots. I mean, it's all about what letter they are, I guess. It's just, whether it's a 3-by-1 and they're playing number 3, 2, or 1 on the outside, there's a single receiver, it's a slot formation, Crowder's inside or outside, and a different guy's inside. These guys by formation move around all the time. It's just, some guys you might say, hey, I just don't want to run these couple routes with certain players, and it's nothing that's really. I just don't sense that he's not a guy that we'd be limited very much, with what we do with him.
And then Manish, for me, in regards to Zuniga, and I'd like for Rex to chime in too, because he actually went down to Gainesville to spend a little time down there, so he has a great perspective on Jabari as well. But I think for me, when you're watching tape on Jabari, even when he was dealing with the ankle injury, I mean his explosiveness, his suddenness jumps off tape. He plays with really good hand strength. He can really disrupt gaps. He's an edge presence. I mean, his disruption percentage rate was high. He was close to a 16% pressure rate. And still with the injury, he was able to get 4 sacks. Last year, when he was a little bit, when he wasn't dealing with the injuries as much, he had 6 sacks. And he's been a productive. He's been a consistent producer in his 4 years at Florida, even with the injury. And I think we feel good about his makeup. The way that this guy competes. But I'll let Rex talk about him too.
Yeah, the first thing that he showed was his versatility throughout his career, being able to play, all over the front for Florida's defensive line. He's played anywhere from right to left. They'll kick him inside as a sub-pass rusher as well. And then at times he would stand up in rush from different spots. So, the good thing is he shows versatility, but what he does have is explosiveness and twitch off the ball and get off. You're talking about a guy who at 265 pounds ran 4.65 and has the get off explosiveness and twitch. Although he missed 6 games this season, like Joe was talking about, his production rate and what he did show when he was on the field is what we saw in him and what we expect from him transitioning forward for us to the Jets in terms of being able to get after the quarterback.
Connor from The Athletic, your line is active. Yeah, Joe, this is the kind of question for you. When you guys drafted Ashton, is this something where you envision, or I guess when you talk to Greg Williams, do you guys envision using him along with Jamal and Marcus all at the same time in kind of like a 3-safety look? And what does that kind of bring to a defense when you have 3 different guys that can bring what they do at the same time?
Yeah, great question. I mean, that was a topic that was brought up when we were meeting with our coaches. Again, we're excited about the speed and versatility that Ashton brings. And so, without getting into the details of the conversation, I mean, we feel good about what he brings to our back 7, and the variety of roles he brings to the back 4 specifically. So, that's something that's really intriguing about him.
Rich from ESPN, your line is active.
This is for Joe. Joe, the Patriots seem to be your new favorite trading partners. Could you just walk us through that trade tonight? And you must have thought that they were coming up for a quarterback, I would think, right, in that spot?
Yeah, for us, we had several calls regarding 101. And, when New England called, that happened to be the best offer we had on the table, was the opportunity to add 2 picks in the 4th round tomorrow, and then get our 6th round pick back that we traded for Demarius last year. So, it was a good opportunity for bolstering the picks we had for tomorrow.
We'll take more questions. Mark from the Post, your line is active.
Hey, Joe, just firstly, could you just clarify exactly what you did get in the, by trading out of 101?
Okay, so we were able to get two. Let me pull up my chart. So we were able to get 125, 129, and then 6th round pick next year.
Next year, okay. And just as a follow there for you and Adam, so much has been made about the receiver position. Obviously you went tackle yesterday, last night. How important was it to come away with a receiver like Mims tonight? This is for both Adam, for your program, and obviously Joe as you build here. Would it have been difficult to walk out of tonight without a receiver?
I think really I guess every draft that I've been a part of is, you do your evaluation, and that's what makes the draft tough. It's unpredictable. You're never really sure what's going to happen. I think it's really about us bringing in the right guys for our program. And, we had an opportunity to take a guy we really liked at the wide receiver spot, and, it worked out the way we needed it to.
Ryan from the Post, your line is active.
Joe, just following up on the trade out of 101, do you view trading with the Patriots the same as every other team in the league, or is it a little bit different dealing with them just knowing they've won this division for so long, and obviously you don't want to do anything that might help them?
Yeah, I view it as just trying to do what's best for the New York Jets, and if it happens to be working with the Patriots on a trade or working with the Seahawks on a trade, if it's something that we feel